Hi everyone, this is Stephen here from Share Navigator, and this is a new innovation, really to appeal to our members who are interested in shorter term stock trades, who want to do some small trades in between the longer term investments. So we're focusing just on stock trades here. We're not going to talk about options with these stock trades. We'll cover them off in members' meetings, the ones we did with Amazon last week, for example. But this is like stuff that we think it's oversold. They're quality companies. All of them are good quality companies with target share prices that are higher. So we've scanned the markets through thousands of stocks, and we come up with a basket every day of stocks that are tradable as such. Obviously, there's no guarantees the stock price will go up, so you need to do your own due diligence on each stock. Having said that, we would recommend you use it in conjunction with equity scan. So here's one that showed up today, for example, LKQ. If we go into our equity scan tool, you can see here we have a target price of $37 on the stock, which is about 24% upside. Our target price is below the analyst target price. So for those of you who are watching, Equity Scan is a proprietary tool to Share Navigator. It's in the members area. You can get access to it there. But you can see here through our algorithms, we're coming up with a $37 target price, slightly below the analyst, but the current price is $30. So actually, there's significant upside there. So now if we come to a technical level, the thing I like, first of all, it's reached a previous support area and it's kind of bounced sideways pretty much since it reached the support area over the last number of weeks and months. And we've come right back down to this support area. We're on the lower end of this Bollinger Band. And really, a short term trade for me on this is really just back up to the center line on the Bollinger Band. I wouldn't even wait around for anything longer than that. So if you think about that, that's about 31.50, let's say. So 31.50, if you think about it, our longer term target price is $37, $38 on the stock. As a short term trade from where it is now, which is at $30, that's about a 3 to 4% gain. That could happen over the next number of days. So that's one stock trade that is a potential at the moment. If you wanted to wait a little bit, you could see does it revisit the support area down at 29.50 before you enter the trade. So what I would say to you is if anyone does put that trade on today, you know what, have in the back of your mind, it might drop down to 29.50, and then on your upside, we're getting out here, we're exiting at 31.50. That's really the two areas we're talking about. In terms of asset allocation, everyone is different on this, right? This is a quality company. It would meet our standards for a longer term investment. So we wouldn't have any hesitation of putting 5% of the value of our portfolio into this particular stock. So that's LKQ. GoDaddy is another one. So I'm going to just talk about the recent ones that are fresh, that are new, that might be worth a look. And then I'm going to talk about some of the others that came up in our scans that have already made their move. So here's GoDaddy again. You can see a previous support area here back in August, early August. It's coming right back down to it again, testing the lower end of the Bollinger Band. If we go into our equity scan tool, you look at here, it's just very, very quickly. You can see GoDaddy here. We have a 176 target price, and again, well below what the analysts are targeting. It's currently at 136. So lots of upside, about 29% upside on a longer term fundamental basis. We'll only ever invest into those type of companies. And again, we just traded up to the center line if we were trading it on the Bollinger Band, which is at about 145. So that will offer, the guts of 8% upside from where it closed yesterday, which is at 137. So again, you might decide to wait, see does it revisit this support area first. Everybody will be different on that. That's at about 133.36. And again, if you're allocating capital there, 5%. So you may decide I'll put 2.5% in now, and if it does visit the support area, I'll put another 2.5% in. Again, everybody will be different. So now I'm just going to go through others that I feel aren't ready to trade yet. So we're looking at Alaska Airlines. That's getting really close. This is a longer term investment as well for people who are interested. Our models have Alaska Airlines targeted at $67. The analysts are in at 71. That's about 38% upside from where it is. So we would be happy to buy this both for a short-term trade and a longer-term trade. And really, we'd be buying it now with a view to exiting out, let's say, on a shorter-term trade. We'd be kind of focusing in really here on this center line here in the Bollinger Band, which is at about 57. It's currently at 50 now. So that's like 15% upside from where it is now, just on a short term trade. So that's one. The only thing we don't like about it, and why we'd probably wait to see some positive days. I love the RSI being below 30 here, by the way, as well. Um, it's really because we keep making these lower lows. I'd like that to stop first. And that would be the same for anything. See a positive day. You might give up some gains, but you don't really want to keep, you know, hop into this and then it just keeps creating lower lows all the way down. That would be not a great move. So we'll just wait to see does this stabilize a little bit. Boston Scientific was another one that has stabilized here. Again, it's a quality company that's gone sideways for quite a bit. Again, I trade that up to the center line here, which is at about 101. Closed at 97 yesterday. That's about 3 to 4% potential upside. Um, Sell next. This is probably one that's already moved. So here's an example of what we're talking about. It's reached the lower end of its Bollinger Band, hit a support area, boom, straight up to the middle line. So you can see that move has been done. It's gone. That's about, what, 3 or 4% upside in a matter of days. That's what we're trying to trade. This is, again, just a reminder, it's short-term trading we're talking about here. Some of them we'd be happy to buy for the long term as well. Just going through each one. Danaher, you can see that's made its move again, touched the lower end of its Bollinger Band, hit support, boom, up through the center line. We would have been out of that trade. GoDaddy, we've just spoken about. Gen Digital's another one. So we were waiting for this here. You can see the downtrend to end. It's ended now. So this again, I think is tradable. 28. The center line is up here at 29. So you're only talking about 3% on that one. But you can see it's actually done it quite a few times here over the last number of weeks. So I think that's tradable as well. Again, one thing to bear in mind about today's trading, folks, as well. The S&P is set to open down. The Democrats and Republicans couldn't agree on a deal to keep some of the government departments open. So the markets are down about 0.5%. So that could go either way. So you need to pay attention to that too. Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, again, that's still in a downtrend. Probably avoid that for now. LKQ, we've spoken about. And Texas Roadhouse, that's another one. We flagged this last week on a members meeting. And look, it's made its move. Look, 158 to 165, there's your 5-6%. So this is a kind of a trading strategy. The criteria I just want to be clear on. These are all quality companies. They're fundamentally sound. They're unloved at the minute for whatever reason. They're at a lower end of a trading range. The thing to bear in mind is they can always go lower. So you've got to do your own due diligence in each stock. Probably wait for stuff that's creating lower lows to stop creating lower lows before you go into it, in my opinion. The stuff that I like at the minute, so I look at this LKQ, you can see the lower lows have stopped. We've gone sideways for a bit. So I think the center line is a potential there. If we look at GoDaddy, you can see this hasn't stopped creating lower lows. So we might just hold off and wait and see on this one. But it's one that I'm kind of like. It's getting really close to support. Alaska here, again, that's a longer term one as well. So I'll be happy both ways with this. So if you wanted to have a punt on these guys, you could do half and half. So if you were going to allocate a total of 5% to the investment, so let's say you had 100 grand, you're going to put 2.5 grand in now and maybe 2.5 grand in if we make more lows. So these are just short-term trades. We're looking to benefit from short-term movements. Today is probably could be a good day to do it. We'll just see what way the market finishes. I'd let the market play itself out for a few hours throughout the day first because the S&P is only down 0.3%. It was down 1% earlier. So maybe there's some movement in Congress. We'll have to wait and see. But there are some short-term option trades. And please let me know if this is of use to you. Send me some comments. We would love to know if you require this. We'll do it every day. We'll scan every day and throw these stocks out every day if you find it useful. Okay, this is Stephen from Share Navigator with an update on our short-term trading opportunities. Thanks and bye for now.